The Red Fort was built as the fortified palace of Shahjahanabad, capital of the 5th Mughal Emperor Shah Jahan in 1648, named for its massive enclosing walls of red sandstones. Its design is credited to architect Ustad Ahmad Lahori. Unlike other Mughal forts, the Red Fort boundary walls are asymmetrical to contain the old Salimgarh fort. Shah Jahan commissioned construction of the Red Fort in 1638, when he decided to shift his capital from Agra to Delhi. The fortress palace was a focal point of the medieval city of Shahjahanabad. The fort lies along the Yamuna River, which fed the moats surrounding most of the walls. Construction began in the sacred month of Muharram on 13th May 1638. Supervised by Shah Jahan, it was completed in 1648. The Red Fort is an iconic symbol of India. On Independence Day, the Prime Minister hoists the national flag at the main gate of the fort and delivers a nationally broadcast speech from its ramparts. The fort is octagonal with a north-south axis longer than the east-west axis. The administrative and fiscal structure of the Mughals declined after Aurangzeb, and the 18th century saw a degeneration of the palace. When Jahandar Shah took over the Red Fort in 1712, it has been without an emperor for 30 years. The Lahori Gate is the main gate to the Red Fort, named for its orientation toward the city of Lahore. Chhatta Chowk. Adjacent to the Lahori Gate is the Chhatta Chowk, where silk, jewelry and other items for the imperial household were sold during the Mughal period. The bazaar leads to an open outer court. The market leads to an open outer court where it crosses the large north-south street, which originally divided the fort's military function from the palaces. The southern end of the street is the Delhi Gate, Naubat Khana. The vaulted arcade of the Chhatta Chowk ends in the center of the outer court, which measured 540 by 360 feet. The side arcades and the central tanks were destroyed after 1857 rebellion. In the east wall of the court stand the now isolated Naubat Khana, also known as Naqqar Khana, the drum house. Music were played at a scheduled time daily next to the large gate, where everyone except royalty were required to dismount. As the residence of the imperial family, the fort was originally known as Qila Mubarak or Blessed Fort. Diwan-e-Aam. The inner main court to which the Naqqar Khana led was 540 feet wide and 420 feet deep. surrounded by guarded galleries. On the far side is the Diwan-e-Aam, the public audience hall. The hall's column and engrailed arches exhibit fine craftsmanship, and the hall was originally decorated with white Chunam stucco. The two southernmost pavilions of the palace are Zanana or women's quarter, consisting of the Mumtaz Mahal and the larger Rang Mahal. The Mumtaz Mahal houses the Red Fort Archaeological Museum. The Diwan-e-Aam was also used for state functions. The courtyard or Mardana behind it leads to the Imperial apartments. Over the raised recessed marble throne, the emperor used to interact with his audience. The most important surviving structure are the walls and the ramparts, the main gates, the audience halls, and the imperial apartments on the eastern river bank. As the residence of the imperial family, the fort was originally known as Qila Mubarak or Blessed Fort. It is adjacent to the older Salimgarh Fort, built by Islam Shah Suri in 1546. The imperial apartments consist of a row of pavilions connected by a water channel known as Stream of Paradise or Nahr-e-Bahisht. Hira Mahal. The Hira Mahal is a pavilion on the southern edge of the fort, built under Bahadur Shah II and at the end of the Hayat Bakhsh Garden, Shahi Burj. The Shahi Burj was the emperor's main study. Its name means Emperor's Tower, and it is originally has a chhatris on top. Heavily damaged, the tower is undergoing reconstruction. In front of it is a marble pavilion added by Aurangzeb. West of the Hammam is the Moti Masjid or the Pearl Mosque, a later addition. It was built in 1659 as a private mosque for Aurangzeb. It is a small three-domed mosque carved in white marble with a three-arched screen leading down to the courtyard. The hammam were the imperial baths, consisting of three domed rooms floored with white marble. The imperial apartments consist of a row of pavilion on a raised platform along the eastern edge of the fort, overlooking the Yamuna. The pavilion are connected by a canal known as Nahr-e-Bahisht or Stream of Paradise, running through the center of each pavilion. Water is drawn from the Yamuna via a tower, the Shah Burj at the northeast corner of the fort. The Rang Mahal housed the emperor's wives and mistresses. Its name means palace of colors, since it was brightly painted and decorated with a mosaic of mirrors. The central marble pool is fed by the Nahr-e-Bahisht. His successor Aurangzeb added the Pearl Mosque to the emperor's private quarters, constructing barbicans in front of the two main gates to make the entrance to the palace more twisty. Khas Mahal. The Khas Mahal was the emperor's apartment. Connected to it was the Musamman Burj. An octagonal tower where he appeared before the people waiting on the river bank. Palace is designed to emulate paradise as described in the Quran. The river bed below the imperial apartments and connected buildings were a space called a Zere Jharoka, or beneath the lattice work. The building used to have red awning or shamianas. The interior was completely plundered following the Indian Rebellion of 1857. The marble floral decorations and the double domes in the fort's building exemplify later Mughal architectures. It showcases a high level of ornamentation, and the Kohinoor diamond was repeatedly part of the furnishing. The fort's artwork synthesizes Persian, European, and Indian art, resulting in a unique Shahjahani style rich in form, expression, and color. The Red Fort has an area of 254.67 acres, enclosed by 2.41 kilometers of defensive walls, punctuated by turrets and bastions and varying in height from 18 meters on the river side to 33 meters on the city side. Diwan-e-Khas, or Hall of Private Audience, in the Red Fort of Delhi was place where the Mughal emperor received courtiers and state guests. It was also known as Shah Mahal, A gate on the north side of the preceding Diwan-e-Aam audience hall led to the innermost court of the palace called Diwan-e-Khas. It consists of a rectangular central chamber surrounded by a series of arches rising from marble piers. The lower part of the piers are inlaid with floral designs, while the upper portion are painted and gilded. The four corners of the roof are surmounted by pillared chhatris. The ceiling, which was originally inlaid with silver and gold, was stripped bare by successive financial crises of empire by the Jats and Marathas. The current ceiling was installed in 1911. The throne, the carpet, and any other items went missing. The hall today is therefore only a shell of what it used to be. Recent restoration work has been redone on the panel of the inlay and has also been reproduced the gilded pattern on one of the pillars fronting the hall. Through the center of the hall flowed the stream of paradise, Nahr-e-Bahisht. The Hayat Bakhsh Bagh is the life-bestowing garden in the northeast part of the complex. It features a reservoir and channels, and at each end is a marble pavilion. Sawan and Bhado Mandap. In the center of the reservoir is the red sandstone Zafar Mahal, added about 1842 under Bahadur Shah II. Smaller gardens such as Mehtab Bagh or Moonlight Garden existed west of it, but were destroyed when the British barracks were built. There are plans to restore the gardens. Beyond these, the road to the north leads to an arched bridge and the Salimgarh Fort. Princess Quarter. North of the Hayat Bakhsh Bagh and the Shahi Burj is the quarter of Imperial princes. This was used by members of the Mughal royal family and was largely destroyed by the British forces after the rebellion. One of the palaces were converted into a tea house for the soldiers. Every year on 15th August, the Prime Minister hoists the national flag at the Red Fort and delivers a nationally broadcast speech from its ramparts. A sound and a light show describing Mughal history is a tourist attraction in the evenings. Red Fort is one of the building complexes of India, encapsulating a long period of history